is the biggest zit I have ever seen.
Does it hurt?
Zit?
Oh, 15-minute break, everybody. Persis, do something about that thing.
Zits. Most of us get them at some time in our lives. But have you ever wondered why? What exactly is a zit? And why are we cursed with them? Well, to understand how this can happen, you first have to understand a little bit about how your skin works. And what better place is there to examine skin than the beach? Your skin is your first line of defense against the outside world. It's like a protective suit of armor that keeps out dirt, chemicals, harmful microorganisms, and pollution. It's even waterproof. Imagine your skin's the leather in a good pair of boots. Have you ever noticed what happens when you don't polish them? They end up like these. The leather dries out and cracks. Your skin's the same way. Without moisture, it too dries, wrinkles, and cracks. Then foreign substances can get through. To avoid this, your skin has a built-in supply of shoe polish. It's called sebum. Sebum is a waxy substance that's released by millions of hair follicles all over your body. But they're not the hairs you normally see. They're so tiny, they're barely visible. You have them in places you probably thought you had no hair, like your nose and forehead. They're called vellus hairs. Inside each hair follicle is a sebaceous gland that secretes sebum. A vellus hair follicle is kind of like this caulking gun. It supplies a constant flow of sebum to the surface of your skin so it doesn't dry out. Your face, as well as your neck and upper back, have the greatest concentration of vellus hairs. So this is where your skin gets oiliest. What's all this have to do with acne? Well, sebum often combines with dead skin cells to produce a sticky mess that effectively plugs up the opening of the hair follicles. This is basically the birth of a zit. Unfortunately, the production of sebum doesn't stop, so the pressure inside the hair follicle keeps building. I wouldn't do that if I were you, Chris. Pressure can slowly build for weeks or even months without you being aware of it. But eventually, something's got to give. Now you've got real trouble. With nowhere else to go, the sticky stuff bursts out the side of the hair follicles underneath the skin. This causes the area to become red and swollen with pus. Congratulations, you now have a whitehead.
Hey, don't pop that.
What? Sorry.
Don't you know you're not supposed to pop your zits?
You always hear it's bad to pop a zit, but why? When you squeeze a pimple, you force some of the goo back down into the hair follicle, making the blockage and the pimple even worse. Okay, so we know now what whiteheads are. But what are blackheads? What causes them? Most people think a blackhead is dirt and grime that's become lodged inside a skin pore. But it has nothing to do with dirt. Sometimes the gunk plugging your follicle doesn't form a perfect seal. Some sebum seeps out, so the pressure inside doesn't build up. But the plug itself turns black after prolonged contact with the air. And washing won't dislodge the plug because the blockage usually occurs down inside the follicle, well out of reach.
Persis, are you ready yet? We're way behind schedule.
Yeah, I'm ready. How do I look?
Whoa! What, are you planning on joining the circus with all that makeup? 15-minute break. Wash that off.
Many people try and cover up their zits by using heavy makeup. But unfortunately, the makeup gets stuck inside the hair follicles and gives you even more zits. And believe it or not, washing too much can also give you more zits. Why? Washing dries out your skin. This stimulates your sebaceous glands to secrete even more sebum, which can make your zits even worse. So what can you do to get rid of zits? First of all, don't wash too much. And when you do wash, use a mildly abrasive cleaner to get rid of some of those dead skin cells that can clog up your follicles. You can also make sure you get enough of vitamin A. Why vitamin A? It makes the inside of your hair follicles slippery, so there's less chance of them getting clogged. What about all the acne products on the market? With so many of them, it's hard to know what to choose. Here's a tip. Anything containing the ingredient benzoyl peroxide will help control your zits. Why? Because the oxide stands for oxygen, and your pimples hate oxygen. Actually, it's the millions of microscopic bacteria living inside your plugged hair follicle that hate oxygen. It's the perfect oxygen-free environment for them. But as they feed on your sebum and multiply, they cause your pimples to get worse. When you rub this into your skin, the oxygen is absorbed into the follicle and kills the bacteria. What about eating junk food like chocolate or French fries? Does this really cause you to break out? Well, most doctors do not feel that diet plays a very important role in acne breakouts. Eating greasy foods does not cause greasy skin, for instance. So if you're trying to get rid of acne, avoiding that greasy burger won't necessarily have any effect. Of course, if all else fails, there's always one last resort.